Buenos dias, Dokkan enjoyers. How is it going? We've got some info here for LR Ultimate Gohan. How's it going, everybody? So yeah, this guy dropped this morning. I guess let's watch his animations first. For those of you here for CALCS, look, boom, there they are. Some of them are kind of cut off, but there you go. You guys can go see the calcs. But they're already on Twitter, so if you just want to bypass me, just go watch those. Let me pull up the animations real quick.
What's with this energy?
It's my brother! My brother's here!
Thank goodness. I made it.
All right, not bad, not bad. The global audio seems to be a little out of sync with the mouth movements, but listen, we can't ask them to do things like for the global side of things, right? Okay. Let's look. Oh, sorry. I just woke up. Sorry. All right. Go on. Here he is. That's interesting that they put Piccolo on the card art, but then he's not part of the unit super at all. That's interesting. Okay, let's look at him. Can you guys read this? Because I barely can. Oh, goodness. What's funny is I actually already have read it. Let me do this. Can we see it a little bit better if I do that? There we go. Okay. So, still a 150% lead. They really need to start making these guys 170% leaders. I guess they're really just telling you, like, hey, this unit is not intended to be a leader unit. We just want you guys to put this character on the Majin Buu Saga team. Like, that's clearly what they're indicating here. But at the same time, it's like, this is a summonable premium unit, right? Like, this... they should be somewhat viable as leaders. So if they were a key 4 170% leader, there's actually some scenarios probably where I'd use this guy as a leader, but as a 150, I mean, I'll pretty much never run this guy as a double. So they should have either A, made this guy a Carnival LR, which I don't think people would have liked, but I would have been fine with it. Or they should have made him a 170% leader. I'm over it. Like, we got... Yeah, what was it? Was Tech Jiren the last 170% leader that we got that was a Yellow Coin LR? I can't remember. It's been a while, but they should have made this guy in all Yellow Coin LRs since, like, Jiren. 170% leaders, but that's my own little personal soapbox. Let's go ahead and look at the passive skill here. Activates entrance animation once only, and you get key 6 for the rest of battle, and all allies defense plus 58% for 2 turns from the character's entry turn when there are 2 or more Majin Buu Saga category allies on the team upon the character's entry. So that's a long way of saying that Gohan gets 6 key for the entire fight as part of his intro. All allies get 58% defense for 2 turns. So Tech Ultimate Gohan just got even better because he's getting an extra 58% at the start of turn now for 2 turns. So, like, on his first appearance probably, but still, like, that's going to help his first appearance, right? And then this activates when there are 2 or more Majin Buu Saga category allies on the team. So that shouldn't be too hard. And there are another 2. Yeah, okay, so it's other than him. So, I mean, you get Tech Ultimate Gohan on the team, and then 1 other Buu Saga ally. which should be relatively easy. I mean, you got Gotenks, you know, the new Goku obviously is very good. So this shouldn't be very hard to get activated, and it is a very powerful effect, getting that extra defense for your entire rotation. So everybody, like, for the first 2 rotations is just a little bit stronger. That is obviously very good. And then normally, okay, so you see the semicolon? The semicolons kind of break up where the different, like, that's what people use if you were to look at, like, a passive on here. Like, these mark semicolons is what those are. So just think of that as the next bullet point here. So key 3, 180% at the start of turn, guaranteed guard, randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, AGL excluded, 2 AGL key spheres, when all allies attacking in the same turn are Majin Buu Saga category characters. So I guess, like, I mean, he's going to have key. Like, he's going to have 9 key. So if you're on, like, a normal leader skill, you'll have 6 key from that, and then you'll have 9 key at the start of turn. So he's going to be starting at 15 key most of the time, as long as his intro is activated. So you don't really need this key, like, AGL key sphere changing, but I mean, I guess this is fine. They're kind of giving a lot of characters now, like, key changing, which is interesting. And then you get an additional 58% attack and defense when key is 12 or more. That should be a multiplicative buff. And then it goes up to 116% when key is 18 or more. And then you also get a great chance of an additional that has a great chance of becoming a super attack at 18 key as well. So that's good. Defense plus 20% for Majin Buu Saga category allies, self-excluded, plus an additional attack plus 58% when activating the active skill or when key is 24. So that's pretty good. Just like an extra multiplicative 20% defense for all Majin Buu Saga category allies. That is obviously very, very good. And then launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a medium chance of being a super attack. So pretty low chance that you'll get these all the time, but you know, hopefully you can get a few of them. When facing one enemy whose HP is 58% or more at the start of turn. So just looking at this guy, right? He's got, for his first appearance, he'll have 238, I believe. Or it'll be 248. Let me look. 238, yeah. So he's at 238% attack and defense for his first appearance. Then it'll go down to 180% after his first appearance because you lose the intro buff because it's only for 2 turns. The 6 key is permanent, but the 58% defense is only for 2 turns. And then if you get an 18 key, these 2 buffs right here will add together for a 116% multiplicative buff. And then this doesn't apply to him. This is self-excluded right here, this 20% defense, so that doesn't matter. And that is the defense that he gets in his passive, so not too bad. But can we go over to now the super attack effects? Oh, this is the active skill. The active skill can be activated starting from the 6th turn. Well, here, let me just... can I zoom in here? No, I can't. Okay. Let's do that. Close this. Okay, so can be activated when facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or less, or when there is another Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking in the same turn, starting from the 6th turn from the character's entry turn. So, not a terrible condition. We like this. One enemy whose HP is 58% or less. I mean, that's good. That is a good condition. So. Should not be hard to get that. You get 58% defense and 24 key for 1 turn. Obviously, that is very, very powerful. We can also see his links right here. We can go ahead and talk about those. This guy, to me, seems like he is intended to be a Tech Ultimate Gohan juicer. Because, I mean, All in the Family, Cold Judgment, and Shocking Speed. I mean, that's 20%, 25%, and 5% defense. Total boost of 50% right there. You know, normal Tech Ultimate Gohan, or, like... Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. His links right here, I mean, All in the Family, Cold Judgment. He doesn't have Shocking Speed and Base, but then as soon as you transform, All in the Family, Cold Judgment, Shocking Speed. So that is obviously very good. You guys saw the calcs I did the other day. It seems like probably most people who watch that would be watching this because I mean that one will probably get more views, but we'll see. This guy eats off of links. So now having like a perfect linking partner that's on all of the same teams as him, yeah, that's obviously going to be very good. So be sure to link level this guy because these 3 links right here are going to be giving you a significant amount of power. Lastly here, we do have the super attack effects. As far as our purposes right here, the only thing that matters is that he's raising defense for 1 turn on every single one of his super attacks. So that is a 30% raise. So anyway, let's go ahead. We'll take a look at his calcs right here. Let me go ahead and switch over to those. All right, so a lot of information to take in here on this page, but let's break it down simply. So this is Gohan's defensive stat right here. You guys can kind of see the formula right up here, 9656 plus 5400, right? So if I go back over to this first page of Gohan, you can see he's an AGL character. AGL characters get 5,400 defense added to their defensive stat whenever they're at Rainbow, and then all characters at 55% get 2,000. And his base defensive stat right here at 0%, because for some reason that's how they post these guys is at 0%. I mean, whatever. But it's at 9656 is what his defensive stat is. So if we take a look at this, 9656 plus 5400 gets you his defensive stat of 15,056, and then like I mentioned, 9656 plus 54 or plus 2000 gets you the 55% defense of 11,656. We are calculating on a 200% leader skill right here. So we take this number and we multiply it by 5. The reason we do that is because we will have 200% leader skills activated right here, right? So that is a total boost of 400% to our stats. But if I take this 15 and I multiply it by 4 for 400%, that 60,224 is just the boost that I would get from the leader skill. So in order to include the original value and just show the increase instead, we have to add a 1 here. So we multiply by 5 instead, which is how we get to the 75,280. Links, we already kind of went over this, but All in the Family is 20%, Cold Judgment is 25%, and then Shocking Speed is 5%, so that is a total boost of 50%. So we take the 75,280 multiplied by 1.5. Again, we have to add that 1 in there, because if we just did this times 0.5, then our defense would go down, right, if we just multiply it by 0.5. But this right here, this 37,640, that is the boost that we're getting from our links, which is why we have to multiply by 1.5 instead, because we have to include the original value in our multiplications. So that's what we're doing right there. On our intro turn, we will have 238% defense at the start of turn. That is 58% from the intro, plus the 180% that we get at the start of turn normally. So again, we take this number right here, say it with me, we multiply by 3.38. That's how we get to that right there. So start a turn, this guy's going to be at about 400k defense with no support linked next to the Tech Ultimate Gohan. I guess next to the Tech Ultimate Gohan, this would actually be 1.45, but you can see, I mean, that's not going to change it a significant amount, and I would say it's pretty common for another unit on the team to have Shocking Speed, so if you're putting this guy in the middle slot, which is probably where he wants to be, you can put him in slot 1, but, I mean, Tech Ultimate Gohan's probably going to be a better slot 1 unit than this guy, probably. It doesn't matter. Either way, he's going to be at about 400k defense at the start of turn, so that's pretty good. You get any sort of support around this guy with his intro up, and he's going to be very solid. And then on 18 key, on 12 key, we get 58% defense, and then on 18 key, it stacks up to 116%. So I just assumed, because we're going to be starting at 15 key, so getting to 18 is not going to be very hard. So you take this number right here, multiply by 2.16, so that'll get you to 824,406. But then we have to include the super attack effect values. And so you guys can see here, I just broke it out. So we get 30% on super. If we double super, it's 1.6. We can triple, we can quad, and we can actually get the god turn is what I called it, which would be 5 super attacks. Because you can do his normal super attack. He has a 70% chance, like when key is 18, and then when key is 24, he gets 2 more, right? I think is how it worked. Launches 2 additional attacks, each of which have a medium chance of becoming a super attack when facing one enemy whose key or whose HP is 58% or more. So I guess these right here, down here, would be tied to HP, the HP of the enemy. So I mean that is what it is. You'll probably, I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be common that this guy triples. I don't know it's gonna be common if this guy gets anything more than a triple though. I would expect triples from this guy, maybe the occasional quad. But yeah, and then you can get the hidden potential. So just to break it down, normal super attack that he gets just like the first one, 70% chance, 2 30s, and then the hidden potential is what he can do here. So you can see that as he's getting multiple additionals, his defense is going up crazy, but I would expect maybe this line right here to be what you're seeing most of the time. And honestly, it's not that crazy. Like, his defense, unless I'm missing something, is not super duper, like, otherworldly crazy like Tech Ultimate Gohan's is. To me, this guy just looks like a Tech Ultimate Gohan Link battery is what he looks like to me. I think you will often find that Teen Gohan is, like, just far surpassing this guy. But this guy is doing some other stuff that is good, like the All Allies 20% defense. Now, here's the other thing, too. Gohan does have an active skill, which is an extra 58% defense. So that's a straight multiplicative buff. So you would just take whichever number you want. So, like, in this instance, let's just use the start a turn buff right here. So we'll take this 381, 670, and then we would multiply it by 1.58. And so that would make his start a turn defense 603, 038. And then if you were to walk that through all of his super attack effects, you guys can see that now with the active skill up, I mean, he's not getting hurt, right? Oh, I guess I could just leave this. But you can also see that if we were to take this right here and walk it down over here, it's still crazy, right? So this would be his active skill. I guess I can go ahead and just put this on all the calcs right here. We'll just put active skill right here. I can't type. There we go. So that's what his active skill turn would be looking like. It would be a nice boost to his stats. But yeah, I mean, overall, this guy's not quite hitting the ceilings that I would like a new premium summonable LR to hit. But I do think he's solid, so we'll have to see how he plays out in game. Just kind of get some rotations, get some practical scenarios for him, and just see how it all plays out. But definitely, I mean, listen, 1.7 million defense isn't what it used to be in this game, even with guard. Now, over here, the only difference that you can see is that this is without his intro, so we lose that 58% extra defense. So now we only have 180% at the start of turn, so we're multiplying by 2.8 on this line instead of 3.38. That is the only change between the two lines, so then you can just walk it down depending on how many super attacks you think you'll get, and you can see here he caps out at about 107k, or I'm sorry, 1.7 million instead of 2.06, so it is a pretty significant drop in his defense once you lose it as you walk up through these multiplicative buffs right here. But, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, even with support, I mean, you can get support around this guy, but, like, even if you get 50% support around this guy, it's just going to get you up to about where these numbers are, right? Because it's going to add into the same line. So if we had 50% support right here, instead of 2.8, it would be 3.3. So we would add, like, a 0.5 to it, essentially. And you can see, like, we're still not getting quite up to here, because this is 58%. This is 50. So, I mean, obviously, we're going to be lower, but, yeah, I mean, this guy, no, don't suggest me anything, ever. I know what I want. So yeah, I don't know. This guy is definitely good, but he doesn't have any damage reduction throughout his kit, right? Uh, he's got a bunch of additionals, but they're only like medium chances tied to the enemy's HP. So I don't know. I don't know. I think he's going to be doing good damage, but this is definitely a character that I'm going to want to see in-game before I make any, like, final judgment calls. But I can just tell you this. Tech Ultimate Gohan just got a lot better. And if Tech Ultimate Gohan is holding down slot 1, this guy should be fine in pretty much any slot 2 scenarios. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, these are already on Twitter. I didn't include the active skill, but, I mean, you guys can just take whatever number you want, multiply it by 1.58, and that is all you have to do for the active skills. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.